There we go.
Shoots up.
Bang. Anthony.
G'day. How you going?
We just did this for the second time. That's the second time I haven't pressed record on a podcast. And I've gotten luckily I just caught that. But last time I got 10 minutes in. And we had to fake my first podcast. I did it 3 times because my mate, on the first podcast, me and my mate were really nervous.
Yeah.
So he got drunk beforehand a little bit. And then I was jittery, so we kept fucking up. Anyway, this is Anthony. We met, we haven't seen each other in 10 years. We started off at a really popular restaurant, Osteria, and he was, you were a waiter.
Yeah, I was bouncing between, I started as a dishy, and then I was a waiter.
Were you a dishy at Osteria?
Oh, glassy,
first?
rather.
Yeah,
glassy,
yeah.
Then waiter, then bar,
yeah,
and then kitchen.
Yeah, doing pizzas.
Yeah.
And that kitchen was a place to work.
Dude, that was a real eye-opener. I was some fucking 18-year-old, I had no idea about the world.
I started in that kitchen when I was 16, so I don't even, it fucking must have gave me some PTSD. It was such a good kitchen to work in, though.
I can't believe how fast those shifts went. That was crazy. That was first time working under a condition like that with just some excellent chefs that were just regular people. I learned heaps.
There were some really good chefs. There was Jeff and Adam and Sharbs, but then there was Joel. Do you remember Joel?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weirdo. So tell everyone what you do.
I'm an artist by trade. That's why I draw, but I also kind of direct and produce as well. So I run and own a video game company called Golden Age Studios. We're a small indie studio, and I do storyboard work for film. So I can go into storyboarding later on because
I was trying to Google storyboarding because you were telling me you did storyboarding, and it would probably make sense more when you explained it because I was reading it and it's pretty broad. Yeah,
so storyboarding is illustrating the shot by shot process of a film. So I work with a director off of a script, and then I'll
bring it to life.
Yeah, I'll draw each of those shots. So every shot that you see in a movie, so it might be wide shot, mid shot, cut away to someone doing something, then a different, the flow of the narrative. That's often done by a storyboard artist first. So that's what I do. So I'll design the flow of those shots, and then on the day when they're filming it, they're like, all right, sweet, we'll do scene 14, shot 2. Yeah. And then everyone sets up the set to get that composition that's been previously drawn.
It's a massive process.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or that's early days. So that's pre-production. Storyboarding's done before the camera hits the ground essentially. But then you get all the other skill sets on the day, because it can get really expensive when you start filming. Every minute could be in these big Hollywood blockbusters. A minute could be $20,000.
That's insane.
But there's so many people working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why it's really important to have it planned.
Yeah.
So then just fucking wasting money.
When you're on a movie site, is it as finely tuned and thought out as you'd imagine, or is it a bit cowboy? Does it still have kind of elements where everyone's kind of winging it, or is it just to the T?
There's a range, right? So it's think of it like a business.
Yeah.
Every production is a different business, run by different people, different director that's holding the show. When it's done well, it's fine tuned to a T. There's some big bucks on the line, so they're it's
no margin for error.
No, not at all. Some earlier people earlier in their career doing indie short films or whatever, it might be a bit like that because they're still finding figuring out how it works, but that's all the part of the learning process, So yeah, there's a range of it, man. It's like a kitchen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, just different. Yeah, there's different levels. It's when I was working at Osteria, that kitchen was amazing and the food was amazing. And then I thought that was pretty high tier food. And then I moved to Jolly's and the level just went up 10. I was I'm from Osteria. I should be alright at Jolly's. But working at Osteria made Jolly's a lot easier during service. But the prep intensity at a place like Jolly's, the prep is insane.
Yeah, right.
It's all in the prep because you're breaking down whole animals.
Wow.
It was insane. But yeah, and your first role in storyboarding it's an insane story because your first role in storyboarding was for the Mortal Kombat movie in Adelaide.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That was like I always thought I was like really lucky, and then luck is that.
It's a mixture of like luck and kind of right place, right time, but also having the skills to back it up.
Yeah, it's like opportunity meets preparation.
Yeah.
So I was like, I studied like pretty fucking hard when I was at uni, and then the opportunity came to like go and go and show someone my work, and I was like, so I wasn't ready for that at all. I was like, well, I was because I got the job, but like mentally, I didn't think that would happen for a few years. I thought it would take a lot longer to break in.
Got pushed in the deep end.
Yeah, I did. And then like the guy that interviewed me, Chris Godfrey, he's like a absolute guru in the industry. He's a CG soup. He interviewed me, and he was like pretty like, yeah, cool, yeah, your work's good. Yeah, I'll get back to you on like tomorrow and let you know when to start if you get it. And he didn't call me for a few days.
Oh.
And then he called me and he was like, sorry, I just wanted to make you like stress for a bit. Start tomorrow. I'm
no
like,
shit.
Serious? Like, I was like,
that phone call would have been crazy.
Yeah. So he was he's a good man.
Being like a bit of a you're obviously a bit of a gamer and a gaming geek as well.
Totally.
And growing up with obviously you would have played Mortal Kombat growing up. That would have been so nostalgic.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's such a fucking ripper game series.
Yeah.
Everyone played Mortal Kombat when they were a kid.
Yeah. I'm ironically terrible at that game, but I love playing it.
Yeah.
All my mates, we have like
button masher.
Yeah, we used to have all the tournaments, and I just fucking suck. I was like literally the easy win if you played me.
Yeah. I was just I rewatched it 2 nights ago because I knew we were doing the podcast. The CGI in that movie is really good.
Yeah, they had some cool
and the fight scenes in it are really good. I still am more of a fan of the originals because we were talking about it the other night.
Yeah, I
like that they look a bit shit,
bit campy.
Yeah, they look a bit campy, and they haven't aged that well. But that's like the beauty of them.
Yeah. There's like something cool about those old kinds of films.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. That the first scene, the Japanese garden, that was like the first scene that I was like working on. Like,
right.
Putting that together, and like going and seeing like the stunt teams getting all their stuff ready was like fucking.
Where
nuts.
did they film it?
That was shot up in Mount Crawford.
Oh really?
Yeah, the outdoor bits, and then they use so it's like a mixture of like on set and then in the sound stages, which are like they're the one like those big studios that you see in like a behind the scenes scene. They do mixtures between those. Yeah. But most of it was done on set, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's dope. Yeah, it's a good movie. Do you have any other kind of movies in the works that you're going to try, or are you kind of going towards more your game company at the moment?
Yeah, the next few months ahead now is going to be purely like my stuff, which is interesting and different. But I've got one other film that's still in production because I do like this work and then I don't see it for like 3 years.
Yeah, right.
It's like, I did Mortal Kombat stuff back in like 2019, I think.
Was it weird seeing your name in the credits?
Yeah, that was the first time I saw my name in the credits.
That was the first time I've ever actually waited to look at credits because I was like, I know someone in the credits.
There's heaps of Adelaide people in that because that's the whole like when they bring these big films into like cities like here, it creates working opportunities.
Didn't Daniel Radcliffe do a movie here?
Yep.
Yeah, that wasn't as big a budget as Mortal Kombat though, was it?
No, he does heaps of like
little indie kind of projects.
Well, he's the fucking Harry Potter. He can do whatever he wants, right? He's.
I seen a movie with him recently where he, like a trailer where he has these fucking things on his hands.
The guns. He wakes up and he has like guns bolted to his hands. I think that's out. Yeah.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's Harry Potter.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
But he loves doing like indie films and like
more artsy kind of films.
Yeah, but that just things that he finds interesting. Elijah Wood's the same, like he's the like Frodo from Lord of the Rings. He does he's like indie films, but he's got as a result, he's got like this whole like catalog of cool shit that he's got. Yeah,
fucking my missus tried to get. She's a real massive Lord of the Rings geek.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
And I've never seen him, and I think it was last year or this year. She's like, oh, you have to watch him. And I was like,
you hadn't seen The Lord of the Rings?
No, I hadn't.
Fuck off.
So she's like, we'll watch it from The Hobbit. onwards.
Oh, dude, why is that
And
Hobbit?
so
That's
she's
a
like-
terrible start.
Because she knows that would rope me in because I'm just... so she's like, oh, so we were watching The Hobbit and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then she was trying to get me to watch like the director cut versions.
Oh, dude,
So it was
deep
like
end.
fucking 12 hours of Lord of the Ring. By the second one, I was just so baffled with fucking shit. I was like, I like The Hobbits better. And I was
You like
soon...
The Hobbits better?
It's because I'm just a simpleton. And as soon as I said that, she was just like, no, we're not watching the rest. You don't deserve... I still haven't seen the
As
third one.
always?
Yeah, I still
You
haven't
don't know what
seen
happens to the ring.
I know what happens to the ring because like memes.
Yeah, okay.
But there's a new Golem game coming out next month.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's soon. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's next month.
Yeah, hell, interesting style.
Yeah, it looks like a kind of like an adventure game.
Yeah, like a stealthy thing.
Yeah, stealthy
I don't know if I'm
adventure.
sold on it. I'm fucking keen on God of War.
Yeah, Ragnarok's
That's
going to be
gonna
really
sick.
good.
I'm heading over to Germany in a couple months for a big game convention.
Are they going to show that there?
I don't know, but I hope they do. I think they might.
Because they didn't show anything up. Because they did the PS5 did their state of play yesterday, and they didn't really show off anything. They
Yeah.
showed off that Calypso project. That looks really cool.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff. There was like the Final Fantasy. A lot of those stuff. Because I did another state of play a few months ago, and it was just like all the Japanese kind of like studio stuff. I feel like that, and this is very much the same. Because it was like Capcom. I'm pretty sure they're Japanese. There was Square Enix. A lot of the games were like very, like Japanese-based studios. None of the American-based studios.
Capcom did a show yesterday of Street Fighter, and that looked pretty
Yeah.
cool. Like they did like an open world kind of element to it.
Yeah, and the new Resident Evil.
And that Stray game, that looks fucking
Yeah.
sick. You're
Yeah.
like just a cat.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it is a cool idea. With Gamescom, is that going to be like the new E3? Because E3 is kind of not a thing anymore, is it?
Yeah, well, Gamescom is the biggest gaming convention in the world.
It's bigger than E3.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, right.
It's fucking like bonkers big.
And you're showing off your game there.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, heaps. Fortunate to be flown over, but apparently it's like the hall that it's set in. Someone was telling me yesterday, it's 16 times bigger than our convention center.
Fuck.
Like it takes 2 hours to walk from one end to the other, and there's like 400,000 people that just like fucking barge through and just play games.
And so at Gamescom, I've never seen a Gamescom. So do they have like an Xbox like day and then a Sony day?
I don't really know, to be honest. I know that because we're just we're presenting our game with 5 other Adelaide studios, and I know that there's like 42 studios from Australia going there. We're like the 3rd biggest represented country in the world going there.
Do you, when you go there and show off your game, is it in hopes to get someone to want to like publish it kind of thing?
There's different approaches, yeah, but that's the main objective is like a really good opportunity to, because everyone from every like facet of the industry is there, from consumer to publisher. So yeah, you get a mixture of both. You get a mixture of people like the consumer playing the game, so you get interest in that regard, and then you get the opportunity to talk to publishers who are looking for new games to add to their catalog.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're at.
That's pretty cool.
So we're at the point with like our game Tinker and Spell that we're just about to go into like full production. We've spent the past few years like just building the foundation and like the artistic style, getting all the art assets.
I love the artistic style of the game.
Cheers, man.
It's really cool.
And then so we got that scaffolding there.
Mm.
Now we just need to make content. We've got about 90 minutes of like playable game.
You were
now.
telling me how long that took.
Yeah.
And I was like, then you see a game like that, and then you see a game like God of War,
Yeah, dude.
which is like, obviously it's a AAA game. It has thousands of people working on it. It's very different. But like just the minuscule details in that game would take years.
Yeah, well, it's like and it snowballs though, right?
Yeah.
But those guys, like those types of games, like God of War, those AAA games, they cost like hundreds of millions of dollars to make. Like they're no small fucking feat.
Like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, they had a guy that his job was to program the horse's balls shrinking when it got cold.
Yeah.
That happens in that game.
I stopped
That was
playing.
someone's job.
I never finished Red Dead because I've played it for like 4 hours, and then I was like, oh, I've finished the tutorial, which is cool because it takes ages. And then I was like fucking off, just cruising around, and sorry, I was fucking off cruising around, and I accidentally punched my horse, and it ran away.
So
and
horseless.
and then in Red Dead, it takes fucking like legit 10 to 20 minutes to walk anywhere, and I didn't unlock fast travel yet, so I just gave up on the game.
He's like hitchhiking. Fuck, that's when games are too real. You're like,
it's
shit.
it's
The
too
consequences
realistic.
of my action.
It's too realistic. It just wasn't enjoyable for me. And same with like mass RPGs, like with like a really detailed RPG. Like I tried to play Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Too hard.
Just not too hard. It's just that I can't be. They can't make me make my own choices because it stresses me out and it takes away like the enjoyment from it. Like I was stuck on Elden Ring's loading screen for an hour just trying to like ask him what kind of like class should I pick. I don't know.
They're like, here's a high fantasy game where you play as a character with high anxiety.
Yeah, it's fucked. It just gives me anxiety. I'm trying to play and I'm like, I don't want to make the wrong decision and fuck my character.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, your game's going to be like we were talking about it before, all the best bits of your, like what you liked as a child. Because it's got like, to me, it has like a lot of Pokemon elements. Mm-hmm. It has like side-scroller kind of Metroid-y kind of elements. It's got RPG elements.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm just trying to like take shit from what I liked as a kid essentially, and just try and make a game that I want to play again that reminds me of that. So yeah, it's like a 2D animated creature collecting Metroidvania. That's how I kind of like
Metroidvania. I was looking at you have a YouTube.
Yeah.
Golden Age Studios on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of content on
you
there.
got 3 videos and they're pretty cool. The first one you posted with that, I think there was like a villain involved in it, and it was like a little just an animation. Mm-hmm. The art style was so cool.
Oh, cheers, dude. Yeah. So I actually learned how to animate to do this because I didn't know how to animate before.
You animated that?
Yeah, I did all the animation. Yeah. I do all the animation. I work with other animators sometimes as well, but the majority of it, like that animated like cutscene thing, that was just me. I did that in like 8 weeks from start to finish.
8 weeks.
That was fucked.
8 weeks.
I don't recommend it, but yeah, that was part of my honors project at the time. So I was like, looking at how to reuse, like recycle work that I've got for the game to be able to use it. So like that's how I got all the backgrounds because they're just assets from the video game, and then I just animated the characters. Yeah, and coloring it as well, like it took ages.
Have you done any work with that new like Unreal Engine 5?
Yeah, well, we're actually working in that now. Not for Tinker and Spell because that's all just 2D animated. Like we do that in Unity, which is another game engine. But yeah, I've been playing with Unreal Engine 5. I came up with this like new idea for like just some fight scene. I've storyboarded it, and I've got a few like I've made a bunch of like character concepts, and I'm getting them modeled up now.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing that in Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, I was watching an Unreal Engine demo the other day, and I didn't even know it was a game.
Yeah, right.
Like, it was... Have you seen that one where it's, like, in a Japanese kind of train station?
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be, like, a bit horror... It's not scary, but it's scary because it's so real. Like, when it goes dark, there's nothing there, but it's, like, it's eerie because it's like, fuck, this looks so real.
Yeah. Imagine just being in like that in a virtual reality setting, and then something creepy happens.
Oh, dude! I remember.
How's that for anxiety?
I got the PS.
Don't worry about Elden Ring, mate. You have to worry about the train stations.
I got the PSVR when it first came out. It's pretty good. Like it does its job, but I remember I never got motion sick from it, and I'd give like a lot of people apparently get motion sick from VR, and I put this flight simulator thing on one of my mates. He fucking passed out so quickly. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it's not even that real yet. Like, I haven't been on Oculus or a Vive or anything before, though. Apparently they're good.
It's cool. I played Half-Life Alyx for about an hour. That's like...
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never played Half-Life Alyx. Apparently that's the best VR experience.
That was... I played it and I was like, oh, this is where it's going. Like, this is virtual reality gaming. So it's like... I recommend playing it if you get the opportunity.
Yeah, this girl that used to work for me, Paris, she played the full game and she said it's definitely like the best VR experience. But it's crazy to think that's where gaming will probably go.
Yeah.
To VR. Once it's more like accessible and less chunky.
Yeah.
Like when they kind of figure out how to make it a bit more comfortable.
Yeah. the only moment where I felt a bit weird with it, because I don't get really motion sick or anything like that, but the moment, like, it was one moment I was like, whoa, that's a bit weird. It was when I was like walking and I went up like some stairs and it changed my like elevation, and it was like that was like, oh shit, just need to like hold myself for a second.
Yeah,
that's cool.
VR is pretty cool. The PS5's pretty cool though. The haptics on like the PS5 controller and shit are pretty cool.
Yeah, so imagine that mixed with like actual
Yeah.
like it's like the way that it will get eventually is going to be like crazy.
Yeah,
And that's just like the gaming aspect of it. You could do so many other things, like other industries being able to use this technology as well. They're starting. That's a big thing that's happening in a lot of industries. They're looking at gamifying certain aspects of like process,
like using the same technology in movies.
Yeah.
Do movies already use Unreal Engine?
Yeah. Well, Unreal Engine's doing a big push to like kind of get into that space, which is like crazy because. Yeah, the shit that you can do with it is like just crazy.
Yeah, because they have all of those assets. Like they got like 10,000 assets already in the actual engine, and they're photorealistic because they've taken fucking pictures of all these. It's crazy. It's insane. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go on, because there'll be a lot of people that don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah.
Go on YouTube and type in Unreal Engine 5. It's a new gaming engine, and basically it's like a platform. How would you describe it? It's an engine for a game.
Yeah, it's the machine essentially that game studios use to make video games.
Yeah, and they just brought out the new one, which is Unreal Engine 5, and people have been tinkering with it for like people plug people
Shit, I appreciate it.
People have been like playing around with it for like a real brief amount of time, and the shit they're creating, like that Matrix demo. Did you play that?
Yeah, that was cool.
It was cool to like explore for a bit.
Yeah.
It probably means more to you because you like know how much work goes into things.
Yeah, it's cool. Like, yeah, it's just the way that it will be applying into the movie industry is like going to be a big one. They're doing a big push for that. Yeah, they're a huge company. They will be like one of the big corporations in the future.
Unreal,
yeah.
Aren't they? They would already be.
Yeah, exactly right. But they're a heaps good company. They're like they just give people, like, if you got an idea, you put a pitch together and you apply for. They've got this ongoing thing called the Epic Mega Grant, and it's like they just give people money.
Really?
And it's like for no other reason as to just test out our engine and make a thing, because it's like they're investing in becoming that kind of foundation for industry.
There's been a real like slump on gaming recently. I don't know, gaming got massive for a bit because obviously I think that Fortnite kind of made and ruined gaming. Like, I think because it made gaming so popular because people were making so much money off streaming, and then I feel like there just hasn't been a game recently that's been like amazing.
It'll be like, again, like movies, like there's different fashions.
There's been some banger movies coming out.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
There's been a big like halt of no movies, and then all of a sudden it's like every movie.
My missus is like a movie buff, and she likes horror though. I never used to like horror. When we first got together, I would pretend like I wasn't scared, and I'd slightly make myself cross-eyed in one eye like this, so I wasn't directly looking at the screen, and so I wouldn't fucking scream for like a year.
So like it was just like blurry.
Yeah, I'd blur my vision so I couldn't see. Like, she made me watch this fucking movie, Hereditary. Have you seen that?
No.
Hereditary's terrifying. It's so scary. It's a great movie. Have you seen the movie The Witch?
No.
Oh,
I don't watch many scary movies. Maybe I should do that.
They're really good. Like The Witch, they're good stories. But Hereditary, it's scary because nothing happens, but then it happens.
Yeah, okay.
And the whole movie, I'm just going cross, and I couldn't take it anymore. It was hurting my eyes. And then I fucking uncrossed them, and then bang, and then my fucking whole jig was up.
Well, you did a big squeal.
Yeah, I did a squeal. I'm fucking terrified. But we watched that. We watched that Everything Everywhere All at Once.
I haven't seen it. Apparently, that's sick.
I was so confused. I was like, is this the right movie? Because it starts off, I didn't know anything about the movie, and it starts off with a Chinese lady, and I was like, is this the right movie? Because she's like, it's about multiverses and shit, and it's such a weird, it's so like well produced. Like,
I've heard it's excellent.
It's really cool.
I heard the best way to go into it is just to not know anything about it.
I didn't know a fucking thing about it, and I was so confused. But
it cross-eyed?
Nah, not for that one. We watched The Northmen as well.
That's meant to be pretty good.
Yeah, it was cool. It was just one of those. It was like that movie, The Lighthouse. Have you seen that?
Yeah. That's
my missus loves that movie, and I didn't get it. I just didn't get it.
Art House, yeah.
Yeah, I just did not get it. And
Batman?
The new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like it?
Nah, do you know what? I think it's the best story in a Batman. I just cannot take him seriously as Batman.
Why?
Because I don't think I should not be able to bash Batman. Like, I honestly think I could fucking wallop him.
He definitely. I told my girlfriend, I was like, he's definitely a virgin.
Yeah, like, and he's so and the first half is like he's so miserable. Like,
I like it though.
He really amps
like
up
it.
the miserable. Like, even if he turns to get a water, he's angry at the water. It's like,
I love the bit. Is like Alfred's like wakes up in hospital after almost dying. And he's like, oh, I'm lost away,
and he hammers
like,
him.
Fuck you, Alfred.
I was talking to my missus, and I was like, how rude. This cunt's just died. Like, he saved his life essentially because Batman was going to fucking open that letter, and he's like, hey, he's like, fuck you.
Yeah, he waltz on out. Yeah,
such a dog.
I like the movie though.
It was. Do you know what? I've got to give him a chance. I think Twilight ruined him for me.
Even he hates Twilight though.
He does.
He fucking hates it.
It's good to make. That's like gave him that fuck you money though.
Oh yeah, yeah. And now he's Batman. He's Bruce Wayne.
But in my mind, the best Batman is Christian Bale.
Yeah, they're the ones that we grew up on though, right? Like, because we weren't around for
I used to smash the one with Jim Carrey. That was my favourite Batman.
Oh yeah,
where he was the Riddler.
Yeah. You know, the Riddler in the new movie, he wears like the same glasses.
Does he?
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, clever.
I really liked the Riddler in that. I think he made the movie. I think he was good.
Yeah, I liked the Penguin as well, like Colin Farrell.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was Colin Farrell.
Yeah,
and I was watching a podcast, and the makeup and like prosthetics they put on him was so good.
And he's a heaps good actor. He's like an Irish accent.
Yeah, he's a gun. He is a gun. Yeah, there has been some good. The Northman's good too.
I'm hanging out for the new Avatar film.
I got to rewatch the first one.
Oh, the movie, like the story is like give or take.
Is it linear?
Yeah, it's just like the movie, like the story of it is like it's pretty like generic.
Yeah,
but it's just like the
marvel of it.
Yeah, like the technology and like it's pretty amazing.
That's a Spielberg, isn't it?
No, James Cameron.
James Cameron did it. Yeah.
You know, he's like the guy that's been the deepest in the ocean. Not a fucking scientist. It's like James Cameron.
Really?
Yeah, he's like a massive nerd.
In a submarine?
Yeah, he like built this submarine to like go the deepest that anyone's ever been in the Mariana Trench.
Really?
And that's where he did that, and he's using all the fucking alien shit that he saw down there, using that as reference for the new movie.
No shit.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Oh fuck! Have you seen? Oh, I lost my train of thought. Oh, have you seen Quentin Tarantino's got one more movie left?
Oh really?
Yeah, he's retiring after his next movie. He's got one more to go because I think he always said, I don't know how many. He was on that Joe Rogan podcast, and he was saying he always had a number in his head. Whatever the number he had of movies, he's one away from, and he said, "Then I'm done." Yeah, right. So he doesn't know what he's gonna. I think he knows what he's gonna do. Like maybe another Kill Bill would be alright.
That would be sick. Imagine the final volume of Kill Bill. That would be fucking dope.
He's a great. I watched for the first time. Oh, what's the one with Brad Pitt? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I just watched that for the first time the other day, and that last like 20 minutes is so hectic.
Yeah, well, it's Tarantino, isn't it?
Yeah, he's so cool. He's such a good actor, filmmaker.
Yeah, but Matt Reeves, he's the guy that did Batman, the new Batman film. He's a good director. Have you seen the Planet of the Apes trilogy?
Which one's the most recent one?
The recent ones.
Yeah, I've seen the first one. I've never watched the second.
Dude, watch the second and third.
Are they good?
They're heaps different.
I really fall off after a first because if I like the movie, I don't want to fucking get a bad taste, so I never watch like sequels.
Watch the second one.
Oh, I think
it's called like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Was James Franco in it?
No,
he wasn't in that one.
No. But it's like a few years after the first one, and it's kind of like, I won't spoil anything. It's a fucking excellent film, and it's like a modern adult adaptation of The Lion King.
Really?
It's really good, but
Really?
it's like The Lion King if it was made for like adults.
That's sick.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I might have to give that a crack then. What do you think of like all these Disney movies getting like made and destroyed?
I don't really care.
Yeah, I don't really give a fuck.
Next question.
Next question.
No, they're cool. Like whatever. Like
It's just a fucking kids movie.
I'm not watching them. They're making them for someone.
Yeah, you try and watch like a kids movie, and you like kind of pretend like you still like it because of the nostalgia, but it's shit.
Yeah, well, like those old animated films are fucking amazing. Like the art
Yeah.
behind that is nuts.
The Lion King still holds up.
Oh yeah, and
the originals.
Well, with the new Lion King, well, it's not new. It came out in like 2019 now. But the score in that was heaps good. Like the music for the film was like great.
I reckon the best music in any film would have to be Interstellar. That Interstellar sound.
Well, Hans Zimmer did both. Like the same composer.
Yeah. That I don't know if it's purposely made so their voices are really low, but for some reason on my like surround sound, I don't know if my surround sound system's fucked, but the volume of the noise and the music is so loud. I don't know if that's on purpose, but it's so good.
Well, like Hans, like have you seen Tenet? It's like the new.
I think I have. Yeah,
Christopher
I
Nolan's,
have.
like, latest
Yeah.
film. Like Hans Zimmer did the music for that, and Hans Zimmer's at this point in his career, he's Hans Zimmer. He's like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm fucking great, which he is. But I reckon he I don't know, he must like fucking demand to have his music be louder than the actors.
It's so loud.
And I've got a theory about, I don't know about this, but I've got a theory with Christopher Nolan films, because they're always like, like Inception and like
I've never seen it.
You haven't seen Inception, but you like the music.
No, I've never seen Inception.
Oh, you like Interstellar. Oh, dude. Well, all of his movies are like confusing as fuck. They're excellent movies, but they're really confusing. But I got a theory that he like for Tenet in particular, I reckon that they made it so confusing that people go back and buy a second ticket to figure out what the fuck was going on the first time.
Oh, of course, of course. I have no fucking idea what happens in most movies. Like the Lighthouse movie. I was so mad that my missus made me watch it. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" She's like, "There's a meaning behind it." I was like, "I don't care. I just don't care about it."
Gotta read between the lines.
Oh, but fuck, what's the meaning of it?
So you gotta listen to the notes they're not playing. It's like, I can do that at home.
Apparently, it's based on like Greek mythology. The Lighthouse. But yeah, I'm not big on the artsy movies.
Yeah.
I'm not. If I have to think too hard, it kind of takes because I'm thinking I'm kind of missing small detail.
Yeah.
Like Tenet, exactly like that. I didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Well, there was like a bit in Tenet. There was a bit in Tenet, and they're on this boat, and they're like, there's this really important piece of dialogue that was explaining the story, and it was just covered up with Hans Zimmer's fucking pipes and like and like wind on the sails, and he's like, this is really important dialogue. I'm like, what did you say? And I had to like watch the rest of the fucking movie and I have no idea what was going on.
Yeah,
people walking backwards. I'm like, okay, I'm out of here.
Going back to your game, when did you get like the idea? I've seen you've always been like doodling like little pictures and graphic drawing on your face. A lot of those pictures characters in your game.
I don't know. The shit that I post?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Because you've always, like, for the last couple of years, you're always posting, like little rough sketches and drawings and stuff.
No, probably not. It might be a mixture. I kind of just draw all the time. Yeah, sometimes I post stuff about, like, the game, but sometimes I just post just whatever.
When did you get, like, the idea to make that game?
Oh, I kind of was, like, in like one of the later years of uni, I think my third year of uni, the director of the school I was at was like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to make a video game. He's like, cool, let's fucking make a video game then. I was like, oh, I didn't know that's like how you start. It's like, of course that's how you start. By starting. So I was like, all right, cool. So then I started thinking about what that would be, and I spent about like 12 weeks in this project, just coming up with like an idea. Just working out with the characters and like kind of like a somewhat idea of the setting of the world and like a little bit of a narrative. And I was like, oh, cool, this is, and he, like, I was like, this actually could be pretty good. So then I kept on looking into that and just drawing things and thinking about what games I like and what type of game I'd want to make. And yeah, so it took a long time to get to a point where I could cohesively explain to someone what it was that I wanted to make. And then when I joined up with Jack, who's a programmer, we were able to like start making some of my ideas and taking my animations and creating it into a game that was what I had in my mind. And then, yeah, started introducing like creature collecting components to it.
Yeah, that's like kind of a Pokemon-y
kind of like,
influence.
But yeah, totally. But I didn't want to make a Pokemon game because like people have tried to do that where they're like, oh, I want to make a Pokemon game, and then end up
the art style's completely different. I really like the art style more than anything.
Yeah,
it's really different.
But people make a Pokemon game and then they end up just making Pokemon. You know, it's like they capture these like monsters and then it's turn-based strategy. So I didn't want to do that. So like what my approach to it was, I catch these monsters and then you as a player have a new magic ability. So you have to swap them in and out, and then you can capture more of those creatures to make that magic ability stronger. And then doing that, you can progress to further areas because you might have like a fire move or a move that allows you to make a rock platform. And yeah. So
do you have like, is on Steam, is there like a playable chunk of it?
There is, but it's behind a key. I can get you one. Yeah, but I'm not giving it out to the public just yet.
Definitely after this, suss it out, because my missus is really interested in it. She's a massive side scroll RPG girl.
Yeah, sweet. I'd love to get a feedback. Yeah. Because when I'm trying to we'll just start doing heaps of testing. But yeah, it's up there. It's got like 90 minutes of.
Are you making it more like play? Would you prefer people like experience it on controller or keyboard and mouse?
It's designed for controller.
Yeah, that's better. I can't play on the keyboard anyway.
Because like we're doing it like the idea is to get it on Switch. That's the main platform. But like I'm a PlayStation player.
Oh, so your main market hopefully will be Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
It suits a Switch.
It's designed for a Switch.
It does kind of have like that kind of vibe.
Yeah.
But it'll also be good on like a PS5 with like haptics, like cool haptics and shit.
Yeah. Need to figure out how that works, but absolutely, like haptics are crazy cool. But you know the controls scheme is like I'm always like thinking about like like
ergonomics and shit.
Yeah, and just like what feels good and what's intuitive. Yeah,
that makes or break a game. If a game has like horrible controls that you're confined to, it fucking ruins it.
Yeah, the main kind of like games that I'm referencing in regards to how I want it to feel gameplay wise is like a mixture between Kingdom Hearts, Jak and Daxter, Pokemon, and the old God of War games. So from like the
slasher ones.
Yeah.
That was so good because you could it was so satisfying.
Yeah, and fast and zippy and like tight. Like you felt like you're in control all the time. So they're the main ones I'm trying to do, but obviously we're a 2D like side scroller platform, so like all those games are 3D games, but it all applies. All like the same logic applies to the development of the video game.
The combat gives have you used that new Metroid Dread? Is it?
Yeah, that's cool.
Apparently, I haven't played it, but apparently, like the controls are so crisp.
Yeah, and it feels like.
And that's what your game Kombat kind of reminded me of because it looks really crispy. Yeah, it looks like nice and zippy.
Yeah. Well, that's what it took us a long time to get there. Yeah. And we're still working on it. But yeah, we'll get you to play it.
Yeah, for sure. I just downloaded the Jak and Daxter fucking trilogy on PS5 the other day.
Oh, sick.
And I was gonna start playing. I haven't played those games in years. I used to love number 2.
Yeah.
Number 2 was my favourite.
But that's a classic example of like of Naughty Dog growing and aging with
we were talking about this before, how you got to kind of grow with your audience.
Yeah, well that's what I want to do. Like we got Tinker and Spell, which is like a cute, colourful, nostalgic kind of like burst of gaming, and that's our first game. So we want, but like the age demographic that we're going for with that has 2. We've got one for like an older demographic, which is where we get the nostalgia, but we want to like kind of get that nostalgia group to adopt it over to their kids. so that they can, and we'll have use those kids as our primary like audience. So as they age and grow from like 10 to 12 to 15 to 18, we as a studio are developing a game for that same age demographic, but just a little bit older and a bit more mature. And that's what Naughty Dog did.
You were saying with Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, and like Jak and Daxter, right? That's like a platformer where you kind of roam around, it's very safe. And then you get Jak 2, and it's like this exact same
darker.
game, same gameplay mechanics, but it's like way more like kind of gritty.
It's a bit darker,
It's a bit more GTA, and that's a really good example of how Naughty Dog were aging and maturing with their audience. And then after that, they did like Uncharted.
Uncharted, which is Uncharted. The last couple was some of the best visual games you'll ever see. But then they dropped Last of Us, which in my opinion is like the best story in any game. The most immersive story.
Yeah, I've never felt so like attached to a game. Like it was the most. I'd never want to play that game again because I was like, that was fucked.
I've played it so many times, I can spoil it now. If you haven't played The Last of Us, it's not my fucking problem. It's been out. It's been out for like 10 years.
Yeah.
But the start, because you see this young girl on the cover, you don't know anything about the game. You see like a man with a girl on the cover, and then you start the game with Joel and the girl. And then you're like, oh, so this is the girl. And then bang, they just fucking kill her. Yeah. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's crazy.
After that, you're like, oh, this is going to be a good game. But it's such a... And a lot of people didn't like the second one. I really liked it.
I thought it was excellent, man.
I thought it was a bit weird that they gave her, like, the Abigail, like, the build of... a male bodybuilder.
Yeah. She was
jacked.
Yeah, and the bit where she has the sex scene, I was like, "What the fuck?"
So, yeah, and they just
you
straight
really have
up
to throw that in there.
That's fuck. Just turn this off if you don't want to spoil it for it. They just fucking killed Joel.
Yeah,
they just killed him.
Yeah, I thought they would do that though.
Nah,
they didn't. I was like, wow, they actually did it. But I was like, with the lead up to that, I was like, they have to do something big to like.
They did
raise the
it,
stakes.
And then they made you play as the character that did it. It's fucking good writing. Good writing.
Excellent. That's why I felt like I've never felt so attached to it, because there's bits where like you play as both sides of the story, and like you're like so conflicted in regards to what your emotion should be, and when you're like strangling the other main character that you play as, you're like, I don't want to do this, but I have to do it because I'm going to die. Yeah, and it's like that's what the character was feeling.
Yeah,
and the way they're able to achieve that type of stuff with a fucking controller.
Just the little minute details in Last of Us 2, like where you can get a guitar and play it.
And then when you can't play it.
Yeah,
when you're like,
it's so good.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, just little details like that. Even in like God of War, the last God of War, like the level of detail in that game. And it was so satisfying just to switch weapons.
Yeah.
And the story was phenomenal.
The story was interesting because I was actually talking to a friend recently who's recently just started playing it, and he never played any of the original God of Wars. So it's interesting, like, the story makes sense from two perspectives. Like, I played God of War, and I'm like, this is Kratos, he is the God of War. But he was playing it being like, who is this guy and what is the God of War?
So he was almost experiencing it from like a totally different spectrum, which would be cool in its own.
We were almost like...
He was learning about him.
Yeah, well, I think it's like they used the characters in that sense. We were playing from Kratos' perspective because we knew it, but he was playing it from Atreus' perspective. We didn't know what it was.
That's so fucking true.
Yeah, so it's heaps interesting.
And the last scenes in that, when they finally make it to the mountain... And like the giant's fucking mountain and whatever. Yeah. And when they call him Loki, like that's like chilling. You're like, oh, I can't wait for number 2. That little cunt's gonna try and kill him.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm keen as. That's my most anticipated game.
Yeah, that's my biggest game. Is it 2022?
It's meant to come out this year. Yeah.
They haven't released any. They're always so tight with that game.
Well, it's like whenever they sell it, like open it, they're gonna just make like $17 billion fucking dollars.
Jeez, yeah. And GTA 6 is slowly getting leaked.
Is it?
Yeah, slowly.
I never really got around the GTA games.
It's just the level of like work that goes into them. They're just fucking monstrosities. Like they take 15 years to make them.
Yeah,
like it's insane. It's a crazy amount of work, and they kind of built their own genre. Like they're just GTA.
Yeah,
like it's their thing.
Yeah.
They made sandboxes.
My girlfriend's heaps keen on the new Hogwarts Legacy game.
That's either going to be amazing or they're going to fucking destroy it.
I reckon they've hit the nail on the head.
It looks really good.
They got like I've been trying to like do some research in it to see like how they're approaching it, and it seems like they've got a really good crew behind it. Like Harry Potter's such a massive franchise. I don't think they can really, especially with a game like this, that would be one of those $100 million games where they're like they can't fuck it up.
Yeah.
So the research behind it, and like my girlfriend's a massive Harry Potter buff, and in the trailer that they leaked, she was like, oh, like there's just things like that I wouldn't think twice about. Whether he was like walking through a kitchen, there's a bunch of like Dobby things.
Yeah.
The house elves in the kitchen, and she's like, oh, that's amazing. Because it's like, apparently that's a big part of the books, that there's like, Hogwarts has these house elves.
They've gone like
so they've got
through some detail.
The lore and like, people will be going over that with a fine comb to make sure that everything's
fine. You
fine.
Can't piss off a Harry Potter fan.
Oh, well, people fucking J.K. Rowling has.
Yeah, she's not too popular at the moment. She's a billet. She doesn't really have to. No one has to like her.
Yeah. I just love it. She could easily just be like, oh, happy sorting day, people. But then, no, she's just like, actually, Dumbledore had a crush on this person back in...
She's just making up the
shut
law.
Shut the fuck up. Stop
you don't even know
book.
your own book.
Do you even read it?
Fuck. When you start making books into movies and shows, it just gets tricky. Like, I never watched Game of Thrones, but I remember I was just started seeing my missus, and she's like, have you seen Game of Thrones? I was like, nah, I don't really. I haven't seen like a good show since Breaking Bad, so I don't really watch shows.
You've seen it now, though, yeah?
But so the last season was just about to come out in 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, I have to cram in all of this Game of Thrones in 2 weeks. So
fucking hell, man, that's like 70 hours,
dude. I would finish work. I would get home at 9. I would watch Game of Thrones till 5 a.m. I was obsessed.
Yeah, it's a good show. Until it wasn't.
Like the greatest show of all time.
Yeah.
The first fucking... How many seasons is there? 6?
There's 8 seasons, yeah.
There was 2... Season 5 was a bit shit. Season 7 was... Like, it was so good. The greatest show of all time. And then...
It wasn't.
Then they just fucking... It's like they did everything in their power to ruin it.
I know. And that last season took 2 years to make.
They ran out of book.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, well, the books are still coming out.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
He would be so mad. George R.R. Martin would be so fucking mad.
He would have a bunch of like dollar notes to wipe his tears away.
Yeah, but they just ruined it. They could have been...
But he still got the book though. I consider the book different.
Yeah.
Because it eventually sways.
Just why would you?
It's fucking good story.
It's
good story.
Is the book? Have you read the actual book?
That's like, I'm not a book reader.
Either am I.
But like that, I had sat down and like read these fucking...
They're chunky too, aren't they?
Tomes. I remember my family being like, "What are you doing with that?" I'm like, "I'm reading it," and they like laughed at me. Like, "Yeah, you're reading a book." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying."
I can't. Do they have an audiobook?
Yeah, it's heaps good. Yeah, Roy.
Who reads it?
Roy Daltrece. It's like this old like kind of Shakespearean actor. He's good. I've been listening to this other audiobook called Stormlight Archive, which is like a high fantasy book. This will be the next Game of Thrones. I'm
really?
It. It's fucking so good.
They're bringing out a new kind of series of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, the House of the Dragon. That would be good.
If I've been so hurt by Game of Thrones. I don't know what's the fucking point.
I reckon everyone's going to be a bit salty, but it will be good because that part of the story
it's all written.
It's all done.
Yeah,
it's all finished. HBO is also bringing out a Last of Us TV show. So that spoiler before about Joel.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, see, isn't Pasquale someone playing?
The Viper from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
He's playing.
Why the fuck wouldn't they make it
Hugh Jackman?
Yeah,
right? That's what I thought.
It looks... And that Ellen Page... Though she's not Ellen Page, sorry for dead naming her. But
Yeah.
she's
What's it? What did they? What's their name now?
I don't know what the Elliot
Elliot. Yeah.
Elliot Page.
Yeah.
She tried to sue The Last of Us for stealing her likeness
Yeah.
with Ellie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been perfect, but yeah.
I think the bear in Game of Thrones, like the small chick, the bear,
Yes.
she'd be good as Ellie.
I don't know who's playing Ellie.
Yeah. But yeah, Hugh Jackman. Have you seen Prisoners?
No.
It's got Hugh Jackman in it and Jake Gyllenhaal, and he is. Joel.
He plays Joel.
He's Joel in that movie, pretty much. Like, he would have been perfect for it.
He was, yeah, even his voice, that would have been good. But you haven't seen it yet. I'm going to ruin... No, I'm not going to spoil Strange Things.
That's too new.
That's too new. But that is the best season of the whole show. I fucking binged it in 2 days. It's that cool. Good.
Sweet.
But
I'll get around to it.
If that show caps off perfectly, it 100% is the best show I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's a big statement.
If it caps off good, which I think it will,
They
because
just need to not get greedy, man. Just end it.
I think they signed up for a season 5 but they're not like stretching it. Like everything they're doing is making sense and it's needed.
Yeah, I'm just worried because Netflix is under like this massive like.
Yeah, they're going through some shit, aren't they?
They'll just be like, just don't milk it. Just treat it with respect and like earn that prestige. Like The Sopranos, they had like an ending.
I just rewatched The Sopranos at the start of the year. I've watched The Sopranos through and through like maybe 4 or 5 times. That, for its day, being a show that had like 24 episodes a fucking season.
Yeah, big.
Like, phenomenal. And James Gandolfini made that whole show. But the ending of that, you either fucking loved it or you hated it.
Yeah.
Because it was so up to interpretation.
Yeah. Breaking Bad had a good ending.
Yeah, but then they brought out that stupid movie.
They put oh, that's right.
And it just confirmed what you already knew.
Yeah.
It's like Jesse got away.
Yeah.
the whole movie.
The end, yeah.
Like, you already thought he got away. It didn't end on like a cliffhanger. And then they're like, by the way,
he actually
got away. And it was in a Gran Torino. That's a fucking, what's it called, movie? What's his name? That's also a great movie.
Yeah, Get Off My Damn Lawn, Superhead. What's that guy's name?
Oh my god. His son's a director.
Yeah, he was a cowboy guy.
Fuck.
I can't remember. I can see his wrinkly face in my head.
Come back to that.
Maybe tomorrow.
I keep thinking of Chuck Norris, but it's not Chuck Norris.
That would be a very different movie. If
my god. Oh,
Clint
Eastwood.
Yeah, got him.
Yeah, that's a great movie. That is a great movie. But yeah, so Tinker and Spell. I reckon we'll leave it there for today.
Yep.
Tinker and Spell, you can go to Golden Age Studios on YouTube.
Or you can, wishlist us on Steam. More information to come. We're representing over in Gamescom.
When is Gamescom?
August, like a couple of months from now.
And you're getting flown out there?
Yeah, I'm getting flown out there. We've got our booth all set up.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to drink heaps of German beer.
Yeah, that's going to be cool.
Yeah,
that's
going to be summertime good. As well. I'm keen. I haven't been overseas since for fucking ages, so...
No, that's going to be good. You deserve it, man. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
It's been good seeing you.
Yeah,
we'll do it again.
Good catch up.
We'll do it again soon.
Yeah, easy as.
Easy, man. Thank you.